Good evening, family. Welcome to another edition of Thorough Black Talk with your sister Keisha, your brother Tad, and your brother Ashe SJ. Will be joining us shortly. Hope you all are doing well and in the best of health, trying to maintain your sanity in all of this insanity of which we find ourselves today. Um, I want to also thank you all for tuning in with us every week as you normally do, continuing to ride with us as we try to give you some sort of peace and understanding, and also give you news, history, and political commentary from a Black perspective. So we definitely appreciate all of you from around the world who watch us. Our numbers are growing, in particularly internationally. Shout out to our brothers and sisters in the UK who watch us every week on the continent of Africa, in particular Ghana and Kenya and Tanzania. Thank you all for tuning in and watching us. Those of you who watch us from the continent of Asia. A shout out to all of our brothers and sisters in Japan, in China, in Korea, who watch us every week. We definitely receive your messages and your well wishes, and we are glad we were able to connect with you all on a weekly basis. And to you, brothers and sisters here in the United Snakes of America, in the Caribbean, in South America, and in Central America, who check us out every week. We definitely salute and appreciate all of you for tuning in. And our New York City, Brooklyn in particular, our family, we definitely appreciate all of you. We're going to run through some shout outs real quick. We have a lot to discuss tonight, and we really want to get into all of these topics. Shout out to the brother Idi Amin. Yes, it is. As you learn from us, we definitely learn from you. This is a two-way operation. We learn from each other, and that's how we grow as a people and as a unit. Sister Farnessa, always glad to see you on a check-in. Hope everything is well with you and your family on your end. I'm glad you were able to make that connection that we talked about earlier in the week. It's good when our people can reach out to us through different mediums to gain insight and perspective on a myriad of things. So I'm glad you were able to help with that. Sister Lex, peace and blessings to you always, Queen. Nice to see you on the check-in. I was just looking at an old picture that we all took together. Maybe I'll find that before the show is over. You, myself, I think Zaza Ali, and somebody else. But anyway, I was just looking at that because I was looking through some old photographs because the United African Movement has lost a giant, and we'll get into all of that in a few minutes. Shout out to Sister Joyce, Brother Monty, my big brother and big sister, always on the check-in. Appreciate y'all, love y'all, for real, for real. You know, they keep me in check. They let me know what's going on, and I'm always appreciative to converse with my elders. So I definitely appreciate you all. Shout out to the Brooklyn William Mackey Study Group. Yes, indeed. Fantastic piece you did last week with Dr. Arthur Lewis. And I can't wait to get a copy of that so that I can share it with the Thorough Black Talk Worldview family. Definitely get me a clip of that, brother. And also, I will be with the Brooklyn William Mackey Jr. History Club next week. And the topic will be the history of Africans in New York, in Brooklyn. I am going to talk about the first who were brought here um, by colonist powers. A lot of people don't even know who their names are, where they resided, what did they do. These people were so powerful in their own right. I'm telling you, they were a force to be reckoned with. The first who came here in the 1600s. Of course, we all know that we were here long before that, but I'm speaking from a colonized perspective, from an enslaved and indigenous perspective. I'm going to discuss at least 10 of those individuals who came here because it is critical that we learn our local history. Um, it is critical for our political understanding, for our economic development, and for our argument for reparations. So I'm going to deal with all of that. And then once Brother Ray give me the link for the Zoom, I will post that on the Thorough Black Talk Worldview Facebook pages so you all can watch that stream live and check it out. You're going to be amazed about what you find out. Um, yes, thank you, sis. Thank you. Uh, you have that photo also. Okay, good. Because I was just looking through some photos and I came across that and I was like, wow, I gotta let her know I still got that. Sister Joy, she says, thank you, Sister Farnessa. Always. Glad you guys can link up. Peace and blessing. Rashonda, peace and blessings to you. Oh, you in Facebook jail? Well, I stay in Facebook jail. That's why, this social media stuff is something else. This hindrance of free speech is a crime within itself. And that's why it's very, very important that we learn our local history because we keep getting hoodwinked into these paradigms without having a blueprint how to get out of it. So I'm excited to be with the Brooklyn's William Mackey Jr. History Club November 3rd. So, and that's the day after Election Day. So kudos to all of you for checking in. Always. And we're going to deal with Election Day and a particular holiday that we should have engaged in this past week. For those of you who don't know, was Black Solidarity Day, Tuesday, 2 days ago. Uh, uh, excuse me, coming up rather. I'm all over the place here because people are sending me some information that I have been looking for and I'm just receiving it now. But we're going to get into Black Solidarity Day and why is it that we as a people don't celebrate it as widely as we should. Some people don't know about it. And we're going to talk about how it all came to be. In fact, I have a video clip of the founder, Dr. Carlos Russell, the founder of Black Solidarity Day, and what he meant and why we should take part in it. We also going to look at some holidays that I don't believe a lot of you know about, but should know about as it relates to our early settlers. When I talk about our settlers, I mean our African folks. So we're going to get into all of that because it ties into the verses conversation we had with our brother Blacksmith last week. A shout out to him. Always want to check in. The beginning of breakdancing. I know a lot of people believe it started here in New York. It started, in the Bronx. It started with the hip hop movement and before that, but it actually started in the 1600s under a particular holiday. So we're going to deal with all of that a little bit later on. But first, shout out to Sister Marie. Always good to see you, and I hope everything is well with you and your family on your end, and that you all are, maintaining. I know what you're going through down there in Bmore. So keep your head up, sis, and keep pushing forward. Now, before my brother Ashe SJ get in here, I want to talk about this story that came across to me about a young child who was murdered by her mother's boyfriend. This story touched me in a way, real heavy, because it seems that a lot of people had some suspicions as to what was going on. But, again, when it comes to dealing with neighbors and things of that nature, a lot of us are reluctant to get involved in things when we should be. So we're going to deal with this right now. I'm trying to block all of these pop-ups that's coming in here. Um, Here we go. I don't know. Here we go. Let me see. Let me try one more time. Get these pop-ups out of here. All right. It says exclusive. A tragic boy, 8, whose decomposing body was found alongside his abandoned siblings, Texas House of Horrors, is featured for the first time as heartbroken grandmother reveals she would have adopted the 4 children had she known of the horrific abuse. Kendrick Lee, the 8-year-old boy whose body was found decomposing next to his siblings. Now, that means he was deceased in the apartment for quite a while, because he have other siblings who were also living in the apartment, and they were in there with his decomposing body. Linda Smith, 771, is the grandmother of one of Gloria Williams' 4 boys who were abandoned in the Texas home. Smith tells Daily Mail, "I wish I would have known how bad of a situation those kids were in. I would have adopted all the kids." I got my arguments on that too, but let's move on. Smith sat, excuse me, Smith sat down with Daily Mail and shared pictures of Gloria's children: Jordan 15, Trayvon Lee 10, Javon Kirkland 7, and deceased Kirkland Lee. The Harris County Medical Examiner's Office on Tuesday ruled that Kendrick suffered multiple blunt force injuries, resulting in his death by homicide. Gloria Williams, 35, and her boyfriend, Brian W. Coulter, 31, have been arrested. Coulter is charged with beating Kendrick to death, while Williams is charged with starving and neglecting her children. Now hold that for a minute. Court documents obtained by Daily Mail show Williams was charged twice for failing to enroll her children in school. Police revealed the couple were picked up by deputies at the public library, where they were looking up articles about the discovery of Kendrick's remains. So the mother and the boyfriend are gone, leaving the children on their own, knowing full well that they had left this young boy's body in the apartment decomposing. And, when the grandmother says that if she had known, she would have adopted all of the children, even though only one of them was her grandchild. My thing is this: what is going on where you are not in contact with your daughter and your grandchildren? Now, my children don't live with me. I have a grandchild, but you can best believe I check up. Even if they don't call me, which my daughter normally does every other day, but I'm going to check up. And if I don't hear nothing, I'm going to pull up. That bothers me. We have to be connected with our family as often as we possibly can. We don't know what the hell is going on. A lot of us are dealing with some issues, and these issues aren't taken care of now. Miss Williams' son, who is the father of the grandson that she has, is incarcerated. You Listen, brothers and sisters, we cannot bring children into this world without a way of caring for them, getting ourselves in predicaments that could land us behind bars when we have children out here. We've become comfortable, um, with others taking care of our responsibilities as it relates to children. These things have to stop. These things have to stop. Let me move on. It says the grandmother of of one of the young children who was abandoned and neglected by their mother exclusively tells the Daily Mail she would have adopted all the kids, but I call bluff on all of that. Linda Smith, 71, says she is sickened by what Gloria Williams and her boyfriend Brian Coulter are accused of doing to her children. Now, on the flip side, here we have a woman who is 71 years of age. Why should she have to step in? You see, we have become comfortable, and I'm talking to our young people out here, and we do have a lot of young viewers. Shout out to the millennials who watch us every week. Salute to you. But you cannot become comfortable with someone else possibly taking on your responsibilities. I have always taken care of myself and those in my realm, meaning my own children. Like you just cannot thwart the idea that someone else will deal with your mess. Smith sat down with the Daily Mail and shared the pictures, one of them being her grandson, right? Now, let's move on. The Harris County Medical Examiner Office ruled that Kendrick suffered multiple blunt force injuries resulting by death of homicide. Police revealed the couple were picked up at the library looking up news articles about Kendrick's remains. So they was trying to find out if the police was on their tail, right? Here is pictured some of the children. Some of their faces are obscured, and they should be. Just look at this beautiful baby. Now, here's the mother right here. How did she end up with 4 children? Who impregnated her? And this is another thing. Brothers, you cannot be reckless out here with your salami, laying up and impregnating anybody. Children are a lifetime responsibility. If you're not ready to do that, don't say, well, she was crazy and I just wanted to lay with her. No. Now she hooks up with this white dude. This is Brian Coulter, or however way you want to pronounce his name. He's the one that beat young Kendrick to death. Now, sisters, you think you're going to find better in a Urugu sweater? You out of your damn mind. You are out of your damn mind. He looked crazy. She looked crazy. Who is impregnating? Let's deal with that. Smith's son, Jonathan Kirkland, is the father of 7-year-old Javon Kirkland. He has been in and out of jail for the last several years and hasn't been a part of his son's life. This is what I'm talking about. You in and out of jail, created a child you have no contact with, you had no hand in raising, and you, Mr. Kirkland, allowed this cave beast to come amongst your child and beat your child to death because you out here reckless. All of Gloria's kids lived with me for a short time in 2014 when my son went to jail for about 6 months. So this woman and some of her children were living with Linda Smith at one time in 2014. I soon found out, check this out. I soon found out when my son was in jail and I was at work, Gloria would have different men come over to the house. I don't know what she was doing with them. As soon as I found out, I confronted Gloria with it. Of course, she denied it, but I told her she and her kids had to leave. This is a horrible predicament because no one wants to live with this type of traffic in and out of their home. So I can't blame Miss Linda Smith on that point. I do blame her son because why would you impregnate a woman who already has children with no stability and leaving that on your senior mother? A few years ago, Smith and Williams called her and asked her to meet at McDonald's, and she brought Javon along for Smith to see. Looking back on it now, I think I would have asked her if she would let me adopt Javon. It was just a feeling that I got. Smith says she found out about what happened to her grandson and Gloria's other children from the media. I'll adopt all of them. I'm heartbroken to hear what happened to them, especially Kendrick. Now, this 71-year-old senior is going to look to adopt these children. This is reckless behavior. Kicking her out. I should have never done that. I've asked myself, what else have the kids gone through with all of the guys that have been in and out of her life? Were the kids molested, abused? At one point, Smith sat down in a chair because she said she was lightheaded and overcome with emotion over the situation. Grandparents are supposed to live their lives after raising their children. But today, you have our children who are mentally scarred, abused, confused, some of them lazy as all hell, and convenient with someone else taking care of their responsibilities. My children will tell you, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Get up and do what you're supposed to do. If you need help, that's something different. We got to get out of this lazy mindset. After several years of not communicating with Smith, after several years of not communicating, Smith said out of the blue, Williams texted her on August 31st, asking Smith if she had seen her son, Jonathan. Smith replied back on September 9th. That's what, 2 weeks after? Not lately. What's wrong? Williams replied back, nothing. I just want to see how he's doing. That's the son that's in jail. So, the mother, Gloria Williams, was looking for the father of her child, or so she says. Now, here they live in an apartment building, right? Neighbors said that they had smelled a foul odor. Hadn't seen her come in and out. If I smell something wrong over here, I'm calling the damn cops. Look at this cave dog. That's what the hell he is. A cave dog who murdered that baby. These young girls out here looking for love so badly. They will fall into the, listen, you can't, listen. I want our young sisters to understand this. Seeking love outside of yourself first is a disaster. Seeking love outside of yourself first is a disaster. Never love anyone more than yourself. Because if you can't be the best of who you are, you can't give nobody the best. This story really, really bothered me, you know, really, really touched me. And when I first started reading, I had to take it back. I'm sitting on the porch drinking my tea, and I was just taken aback, because so many children today are going missing, sex trafficked, and nobody gives a damn. Nobody gives a damn. This is a problem. This is a serious problem. So, you know, I don't know the relationship she had with her neighbors or what have you, but like I said, damn that. If I smell something that smell like something dead, I'm calling somebody. Now in the school, these children ain't registered in school. Where they at? Where's the accountability of the schools? I'm just asking. Because something ain't right here. Something ain't right. Something ain't right. Now, the article said that one teacher of one of the students, happened to stop by. Let me see. We got some technical difficulties. They playing games out here. But, she said that she hadn't seen the child in school, so she came to check things out. Now, where's the Board of Education at county? Where's the Board of Education for that county? What are the responsibilities if kids don't show up to school? That should be registered. It seemed like the ball was dropped all over the place. This is crazy to me, and deeply disturbing. Deeply disturbing. So, I don't know. What are your thoughts, family? What are you people thinking? I know we had some technical difficulties, so I hope everybody was able to hear everything. And we trying to work these things out, but it is what it is. Sister Marie, she said exactly, just like my niece, who was no longer living in her mother's house. My sister in New York told my sister to tell me it's none of my business, but my damn niece is not living in her house. She is my damn business. She is in Castle Hill with my sister, while my sister parties every damn weekend. My nephew wants to get custody. What can he do up there in New York Family Court? File a petition. File a petition. That's all you got to do. Even if you, listen, let me tell you how I work here in New York in family court. You tell your nephew that he can file a petition for temporary guardianship until they find out what the hell is going on. Yeah, that's what he could do. ASAP. ASAP. Exactly, brother Edie. I mean, your legacy must be protected, young brothers. You can't be out here reckless, dropping babies every goddamn where and think it's okay. That's not okay. We have to get out of this slave mentality. You see, on a plantation, they made us breed and rid ourselves of our children or take the children away from you. Break that slave mentality. Shout out to Dr. Leonard Jeffries. He always says that our people suffer from a shattered consciousness and a fractured identity. Or a fractured identity and a shattered consciousness. We are. These things must be dealt with. You cannot make slave behavior the norm. Let me say that again. we cannot make slave behavior the norm. We have to do away with it, family. We have to do away with it. Sister Farnessa said, he's the one that beat that child to death, but I bet you she will be doing the hardest of the time. You play silly games, you win silly prizes. Facts. This is just facts. When black women and black girls are convicted of crimes, they doing the majority of the time. Fact. Don't believe me? Just check the statistics where you reside. I don't have no reason to lie to y'all. None. So you got to be careful out here. Yes, Sister Aminatu, she said, Urugu are naturally evil. Dumb MFs murder their own for nothing. Facts. Facts. This is a fact. How the hell you feel listen, I never understood that. My brain works differently, I guess. That I can never see myself mating with the descendants of those who enslaved my ancestors. I just can't see it. I can't see it. But that's just me. Maybe somebody else can educate me something different. But that's how I see it. She said, oh my God, these women put men first before their children. Nah, I don't put nobody before mine. Nobody. Nobody. And you shouldn't have to be in that predicament. That's what I'm saying. Who you choosing to mate with? Learn from mistakes. I learned from the mistakes of the women in my life who came before me. We seem not to learn these lessons, and it's becoming worse. To me, that's just how I see it. Shout out to Sister Pat, UAM alum right here. I wanted to get off of this real quick because my head's starting to hurt and I'm getting all angry. I got to calm myself down. I keep this blood pressure down. But, recently, the United African Movement, which is a staple, y'all hear me? Staple of real activism and leadership in New York City. This is the thread vine that Sister Pat, Brother Ray Ray, Brother Mike Grays, Brother Peace, all those who came here, through here, me and Brother Ashe, Brother Tad, we all connected under the United African Movement. Brother Quasi, shout out to him. I'm so proud the young brother is doing his thing right now in educating our children. We all came under that vein, that umbrella. And recently we lost a giant in the United African Movement. If you've ever come to the UAM, you've always seen Brother Harold sitting at the door. On entry, you saw Brother Harold sitting at the door. And in this photograph, it's funny that, Brother Mike Grays, the history hitman, and myself are in between these two giants who educated us both, who were our leaders as far as study, education, and warfare. This photo really touched me when I saw it earlier. That me and Brother Mike Grays are in between them. Both of these brothers on the end made their transition but we recently lost Baba Harrell. When I'm telling you, this man was a walking library. He was just that, a walking library. Can give you the book, title, author on site. On site. Both of these men on the end were part of the military. You know, we would take trips out of state often with the United African Movement. And these brothers would get into debating matches. I believe Harold was of the Navy and brother Pop Bryson was in the U.S. Army. And they would go into to conversations. You had, shout out to brother Blake, would get into it. Brother Blake was a Marine, and you had Sister Huff, who was a member of the Air Force and who outranked all of them. But anyway, they would get into these heated debates on the bus, and we would be sitting there cracking up laughing. But when you saw later on the years of my work with the United African Movement, understand that these two brothers on the end advocated for my position in the United African Movement without me knowing. They told me afterwards, you know, Mike and all of them told me afterwards. But it was these three men who advocated for me with the United African Movement. So I am forever humbled and thankful. And let me move on because I'm getting a little teary-eyed. Brother Ashe SJ, glad to see you, brother. How you doing?
Yeah. What's the word, yo? You know, pardon the tardiness, man, but you know, I'll be in the background behind the scenes making some stuff happen. And you know, I had to get my workout in, so I had to go. You know, that don't come on a back burner, man. I'm every 6 days a week in the gym going hard, trying to get like my brother Tad, man. But yeah, yo, everything is great. You know, we had a very interesting week. A lot of things going on. You know, the seasons is changing right now. A lot of people that are seasonal in your life might be changing right now. A lot of things might be switching up. You know, we going into a new period. I like to tell people a lot. This is about to be the second quarantine. It's time for us to level up. You know, get our mind right, get everything together. And that's exactly what I'm doing, working on some side projects. You know, got a whole bunch of great things that's coming up. So be on the lookout. Please support everything that we do. Make sure y'all share this link. Tonight, we're going to have a great conversation. Keisha got some amazing topics. You know, we got to touch on, you know, she was going in right now on the elders that came before us, the ones that put in that real work. And, you know, I'm just grateful that I had the chance to meet some of them, you know, before United African Movement has come to a close and things of that nature. As far as the door front, you know, we know the movement and the people is still shaking and moving and got boots on the ground still. But you know, as far as like the lecture series that they used to have, I'm grateful that I had the opportunity to go in there and meet so many amazing people that added to my growth and development. You know, and I'm still growing, I'm still learning, but right now I'm just trying to stay practical, man, and deal with, you know, like people say, you got to meet the people where they at, right? You know, and I'm seeing a lot of people are just, their heads are either in the clouds or, you know, I don't know where it's at, but a lot of people, they just can't even relate to some of the people that's walking down their street in their neighborhood, you know, and it's crazy. It's like, damn, wasn't you one of those people? Now you got knowledge of self or whatever you want to call it, and you don't put so many Herus and Sekhmets in your name now, you know what I'm saying? That now you can't even relate to people with regular names, regular African American names. If it ain't Sekhmet or Heru, you can't even have a conversation with them no more. You know what I'm saying? So we got to get off of that level and really get back into the community, man. Because right now, the way I'm feeling, yo, Keisha, I ain't even going front, man. Like, more and more, I just been feeling like pulling away and backing out from the people that supposedly the choir, you know, everybody said we preach to the choir all the time. I'm backing out. I'm pulling away from that. You know what I'm saying? Because most 9 times out of 10, them people ain't really about no action. You know, and the people that's really about action is the people that their eyes haven't been clouded with, you know, perpetrators. You know what I'm saying? The people where they might still be bright-eyed when it comes to getting some black power and things of that nature. Well, we got to galvanize that energy too and just lead them in the right direction. But, you know, I want to really get the gears moving and, you know, break this machine down in this system that they have created for us and start building our own machines, man. Start building our own mechanisms, you know, to really get us free. And that starts on a minuscule level when it comes to your happiness, your peace. You know what I'm saying? You got to go inside, in your house, get your household right. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, they so focused on what's going on outside in the world or on social media, and they ain't even got their house right. They ain't even got their own mind right. They're not even focusing on themselves, trying to be better people. You know what I'm saying? So these are things that we always try to implement. And when it comes to those elders, the people that Keisha was talking about, you know, that come first. It ain't just sitting up here and giving lectures. You know what I'm saying? Like, we won't be giving, we did an event where I gave a presentation. Shout out to everybody that pulled up to the Solid African event where we were talking about Black August and a whole bunch of powerful things, you know, but we ain't gonna be doing too much of those. Like, we're gonna have forums. We're gonna have open forums. And that's what this is. Thorough Black Talk. It's an open forum. So we gotta, Keisha, we gotta start going back to pulling people in the calls and listening and taking some calls from the people so we can hear what's on the people's mind, what the people got to say about, you know, the articles that we bring forth and the information, you know, get some commentary going so we could, you know, develop and really share ideas with each other and build something. You know what I'm saying? I miss listening to the people. I miss hearing the people call in and say, what up, what's good? You know, I had a good week working on, you know, I had a hard week. Matter of fact, I had a hard week, you know, but I'm still here. Because that's what we really are at the end of the day, just warriors, man. Like, every day is another battle. You know, it ain't easy. It ain't easy out here. You know, a lot of people come into this conscious knowledge of self or whatever, or even if it's not even a Black power, maybe it's just the sage and crystal community, whatever you want to call that, the spiritual community. A lot of people come into these things for us as tools of escapism. You know, really, they just trying to escape their reality. They want an alternate reality, you know, so they go into all of these different things, you know what I'm saying? And really, they're not doing the work. They just using that as a tool to move forward and take the focus off the true issues, the real things that's stressing them out and making their mental, you know, stability diminish. Like, it's just getting worse and worse. You know, a lot of people are just trying to escape and they just trying to look for something to refocus. But we got to focus on, you know, being centered. Once we get that down packed, then everything from inside comes outside. But the problem is, like you can't even go on social media and make a little comment. I made some funny comments online, right? Poking little fun at celebrities and things like that.
I saw that.
Yeah, I'm poking little fun jokes at people and stuff like that, right? So talking about celebrities. Then you get people that come on my post with ankhs on their neck, and their name is Sekmed or Amanet. I don't know what they got all the African names, L, all of that. And then they can't even have a conversation without trying to disrespect you. You know what I'm saying? But you got an ankh on your neck and you talking foul like a stank ski hoe. You know what I'm saying? You sound like a ski hoe, but you got an ankh on your neck. So where's the ma'at in that? You know? We can't even have not even conscious. We can't even have adult conversations with each other without trying to hurt somebody's feelings or without trying to disrespect somebody. You know what I'm saying? Whatever happened to debates or whatever happened to disagreeing and agreeing to disagree and keeping it respectful. We can't even do that, but we want to be onked out, sage and crystalled out, but then we disrespecting people and we can't have a conversation as adults. Meanwhile, you know, none of these people wouldn't be talking like that if it was in real life, but it's social media, so they feel detached, like they safe. You know, ain't nothing wrong with that's your thing. I keep playing with fire. That's okay. But I'm just saying, like, we supposed to, when we come into this knowledge of self-consciousness, we supposed to be striving to be something better. You know what I'm saying? So you on here disrespecting people and calling people out their name or whatever the case is, right? That's really just a reflection on yourself. When people try to disrespect you, Keisha, or anybody in the listening audience, before y'all respond, right? I want y'all to just listen to the type of disrespect that the person is giving you. Like, check the angle out of that disrespect. before you respond, you can still respond, but I'm just saying, think about before you respond, just think about where that person is coming from when they disrespect you. Because 9 times out of 10, somebody that's trying to disrespect you shows how disrespected they have been in their life already. That's how bad their situation is. That's all the disrespect that they done went through before. You know what I'm saying? All the people, that's just a reflection of all of the people that disrespected them in their life. And they learned that disrespect. So now they want to disrespect somebody else that don't even deserve it. But it's a reflection. So now they just spewing back what has been spewed towards them. So I like to have this saying when I say, like, people say, oh, don't worry about it. When they don't respond to something, they be like, oh, don't worry about it. Karma's going come against them. Like, they gonna get what they deserve. Well, I like to say they already getting what they deserve. You know what I'm saying? Because 9 times out of 10, the people that's nasty and disrespectful and all of that, check out their life, check out their background, check out their day-to-day. They not happy. You know what I'm saying? And when they carry that energy, more and more of that same energy is gonna attract them. It's gonna come right back to them. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you don't even have to step. Matter of fact, you stepping into that sometimes. I ain't gonna say I'm an angel because I'm an Aries. I'm fiery. I will snap back on your ass real quick. You know, I like doing that. But I've been learning how to channel. I'm a what they call it, I'm a firebender, the last avatar, whatever. I'm learning how to channel my fire. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes you step into the fire sometimes and you don't even need to step into it. Stepping into the fire will harm yourself. You know what I'm saying? You know how many people I could have busted in their head for saying crazy stuff? Not knowing who I am and not knowing how I get out. Like, how many people Keisha could have really did something to if she really wanted that smoke? Like, she really wanted to take it there? You know what I'm saying? But then as adults, we got to sit back and think like, yo, like, if you're going to do something, do it smart. That's the first thing I'm saying. I ain't going to say don't do nothing, but I'm going to just say that. Do it smart, all right? But for some people out there, they do have that logic where it's like, all right, well, I'm not going to even put myself in that kind of environment. That's very smart. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, me, Tag, Keisha, anybody out there, y'all bust somebody's head for somebody that ain't worth it, then what's going to happen? They're going to snitch, call the police. You know what I'm saying? Or you just going to get busted. You just going to get in more drama. You know what I'm saying? So over somebody that really don't even matter at all, you know? But this is the way, this is the temperature of people right now, online, but not even just online, because in real life, it happened too. But in real life, you are able to have repercussions. That's the difference. You know what I'm saying? So we can't take too much of that online and social media and all of that stuff. We can't take that to heart, man. But what we really need to be taking to heart, like I said in the beginning, I'm past the mic, is centering in ourselves and checking out like, yo, this is the end of the year right now. It's November already, Keisha. It's about to be November in a couple of days. And then New Year's Eve practically here. The year is over. You know what I'm saying? It's 2022. You got some people out here that's literally going to be the same goddamn person in 2022 that they are in 2021. You got the people that's going to be the same way. And they've been this way the year before that, 5 years, 10 years before that. Some people ain't never going to change. You know what I'm saying? So we can't sit around here, wait and hope and beg and plead for some of these people to change. They're not going to change. It's the only person that's going to change is you. And the only way it's going to happen is if you get up and say, yo, I'm going to change myself. Maybe somebody else might get inspired. You know what I'm saying? And they might see you. It might even be hate. They might be seeing you like, damn, you doing your thing. Like, damn. Hate can inspire some people sometimes too, you know. Some people can hate on your ass so much that they actually start copying, mimicking, and then they do their own thing. And then maybe eventually they get to the point and be like, you know what? That was ignorant of me back in the days. That was childish of me back in the days. You know what I'm saying? I put a post up. I was like, I said, imitation. What I said? They say, what's that saying? They say, imitation is what is it? It's a compliment or something. I forgot how it go right now. I can't think. But imitation is the best form of flattery or something like that. I said imitation ain't no flattery. Like praise is flattery. You know what I'm saying? We need to start learning how to show love to our brothers and sisters. I talk about this all the time. You know what I'm saying? But some people they might like something that you do, or like how you carry yourself, or anything like that. Like what you got going on in your life, and they will never tell you. They'll just hate on you. You know what I'm saying? They just hate, or they'll just imitate and try to act like they ain't learned from you. You know, we so bad. We can't even, when we like something that somebody do, we can't even tell them. We can't even give them a compliment and show them love. So if you can't do that now as an adult, what you think these little kids out here, what they gonna learn? You know what I'm saying? Half of us, we had parents that didn't show no emotions. You know what I'm saying? Didn't show no love or nothing like that. So we gonna keep repeating the same goddamn cycle in 2022? No, start with your neighbors. Start with the people you see every day. I talk about this on the radio, on the show all the time. Little things like saying good morning, good evening, how you doing? Perfect strangers. If they black, strangers walking down the block, hey, what's up? That's all you got to do. Start something small like that. Start to learn the people that's in your community. Start to build an actual community. You know what I'm saying? That's where it starts. Next thing you know, you building connections. You got a network. You never even know. They might even be able to help you get on in business or whatever you got. You know what I'm saying? So we got to stop thinking like that, because the reason why I'm saying all this is because we got so many, we got so much access to things that we don't realize. Like a lot of us, we talk about like growing up in poverty and all of that. Yeah, we do grow up in poverty. Yeah, this is the hood. You know, a lot of us are from the hood. But also in the hood, there are some people that are middle class that are working good ass jobs or got good skills and trades or have businesses of their own. You know what I'm saying? And not enough of us are supporting them. If you talk to these black owned businesses, especially skills and trade, black people ain't hiring black people enough. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these people is getting hired by the goddamn devil. You know, getting hired by people that don't look like us. Some black businesses will be the first to tell you that a lot of these people that are not black show the most love, spend the most money, don't give a goddamn. You know, they know how to support. And they'd be looking at us like, damn, I wish black people know how to do this. You know, a lot of people make a lot of money off dealing with other people. So business is business. But at the end of the day, my point is we got to learn how to treat each other in a way where we can support each other. You know, support a business, support your friend that's doing something. It might not even be a business, but support that. Support goes a long way. How many people are watching this right now? They still ain't subscribed to our YouTube yet. They still ain't liked a video yet. You know how long a like go? A share, a follow, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? It go a long way. But a lot of people on this show that's watching right now is haters. A lot right now that's watching is haters. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people want to do what we doing, and you know, and we do it for the love. We don't even get paid. We don't monetize or nothing like that. We do this for the love of the people and to sharpen our own swords. You know what I'm saying? But there's people on here watching right now that still won't support. They say, shut up, Ashe. I don't even want to hear you talk right now. Well, I really don't care, because this is how we give it up. This is thorough black talk. And we need to start having more conversations like this, man, and we got to bring the community into these conversations, man, because I'm tired of preaching to the goddamn choir, Keisha. I'm tired of talking about the same old things. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have a guest come on. We have some amazing guests, but goddamn it, I'm upset right now. I'm upset, goddamn it. I want to get some real tangible results, man. You know, this is what I got in it for. This is why a lot of kids come in, or y'all the young people, or even just people that just come fresh into the movement. They only last 5 years. Then they out of it. They like, I saw a sister posted something the other day. It was like yesterday online. She like, her name is like some comedic name. Ashe something. I forgot. Ashe something. And she went up there. She like, oh, I'm just up here letting y'all know that that's not even my name no more. And I left that movement. And I just can't change my name because Facebook won't let me change my name or something like that. No, this ain't no diss on Shorty. You know, shout out to her. This ain't no disrespect to her. But I'm just saying, as an example, like people come into this movement and don't see no results. They see people with Kemetic and Moorish and Hebrew Israelite, all these names, and they disrespecting people. They ain't got no respect for themselves. They ain't building nothing. So people that's bright eyes come in and they get diminished, and they like, yo, I don't want to be this the same, just like the streets. This the same thing I'm dealing with in the streets. So why would I come into something that's supposed to be conscious? It feel dirtier being in a fake conscious community with fake people. It feel dirtier being in that than being in the street with people you know that's actually just like that. You know what I'm saying? That's like you go into a church with I mean, we already know the church is crazy, but I'm just saying, as a bright, wide-eyed person, you go into the church thinking, yo, I'm about to get my life together. And then you find out the pastor's touching children, taking money from the collection. You like, wow, and this is God? We supposed to be gods and goddesses? But this is what we dealing with. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's on my chest right now, Keisha. I just really want to, like, you know, I pop in, I pop out, and all of that, but I'll be having to get reinvigorated sometimes. And that's why, like, I try to do it. When I do these initiatives, that's why y'all see me doing those initiatives, family. One, because I want to get stuff accomplished and done for our people, but two, because I see a void. I see a void in this community, whatever you want to call it. Like, it's a void that's not being filled. Nobody's stepping up to the plate. So I'm like, let me just try to think of what I could do. It might not be the best thing. You know what I'm saying? It might not be the brightest idea, but I'm going to try something. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to do something, and maybe I'll do something that'll spark somebody or bring two people together and they go on to do something even better than I did. I ain't no hater. You know what I'm saying? I'm an organizer. That's what I do. So even if it got to be organizing people and skills and all of that to do something great, then I could do that. I'll take that role, that position. Ashay don't have to be in the front and have my own school and all of this stuff. I don't need that. You know what I'm saying? What I need is those results. What I need is for things to change for Black people, for us to get power, for us to stop getting murdered. And when the people that murder us, they get off scot-free, we can't even hold them accountable. We don't even have spaces where we could truly be African and conscious and wear our dot and not even have to worry about anything. You know what I'm saying? We don't even have spaces where we could go collectively to even better ourselves to get to the goddamn level where we should be. You know? So it's so much work to be done, family. Like, for us to be sitting here preaching to the choir, reading the same books. Reading books is great. It's amazing. It's an amazing thing to do to higher your level of knowledge, consciousness, and information. But if all you doing is reading a goddamn book, you a bookworm. Remember back in the days, Keisha, we ain't rocking no goddamn bookworms. You in the house, like, you ain't outside. You know what I'm saying? Like, all you doing is reading in the house, goddamn it. You know, like, I mean, you got to balance that out. You could be a bookworm and then you could be outside and like with the people and like making stuff happen. But you can't just be in the house. Oh, I got thousands of books. Did you read the part 2 version of part 2 of this? Nah, I ain't read it yet. And I'm safe to say I didn't read it yet. It's okay. Some people they feel crazy saying that. They like, oh yeah, I read that book. Yeah, I read. Oh yeah, that one. Yeah. I read that book, yeah, Black Power. And they ain't read a god. They don't even know what the cover of that book looked like. They don't even know the goddamn cover of the book. And they talking about they read this and that and this elder and this scholar and this doctor. Well, if you read the book and you ain't got no goddamn reading comprehension, what's the point of reading a goddamn book? And you know what? What's better than reading comprehension? I'm gonna say this right now, put me on the record. When it comes to studying, because a lot of people leave this part out of studying. When it comes to studying, it's 2 parts. It might even be more, but it's 2 major parts to studying. 1, you have to have reading comprehension. 2, you have to have reading application. If you do not have reading application, you wasting your goddamn time, family. Stop reading these books. Go back to PlayStation. Go back to something else, because this ain't working for you, family. If you ain't applying the knowledge and the wisdom that you get from those books and you just keeping it up here, you wasting your time. You wasting all of our time, family. And then you're going to get in front of somebody that's wide, bright-eyed and quote all of these. That's what's happening, because they reading all these books. They get in front of these people that's wide-eyed. that come into the thing, and it's their first time coming in, and they hear all of these, you got all the quotes. You quoting all the top doctors and scholars and all of that, and all you could do is regurgitate the goddamn quote. That's it. So they start to think, oh, you intelligent, you about something. I done met more people that really made stuff happen, shake and move in the street, that ain't read no goddamn books than some of these people out here that read like 20, 30, 100 goddamn books and still ain't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? I know people that probably can't even read that's about that life. That really ain't, and compared to some of these people online and all of that, like, you ain't doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, man, I ain't the best or the strongest or none of that. I ain't trying to be, I don't want no spotlight or none of that, you know, but at the end of the day, you going to see Ashe around people that is really building and really trying to make something happen, man. You know, like, yo, we got children, grandchildren, you know, family out. We gotta take care of these people, family. People know me for being like putting myself on a line. You know what I'm saying? People see me, they think like, oh, one thing. You know what I'm saying? But when it's time to give it up, everybody that know me know how I give it up. You know what I'm saying? So I play my position. I put myself, you know, on a line. You know, so some people, we just really got to start doing that. It ain't just about putting your body on a line for violence or nothing like that. You know, but put yourself on a line as far as making sacrifices. You know what I'm saying? Put yourself on a line as far as keeping your word. Simple things, family. These is minuscule, fundamental things. Put yourself on a line, family. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people are in this thing and they like I said, they're not accessible. They're not putting themselves on the line. They totally detached from what's actually going on with the people. You know, we can't have that no more because too much time is being wasted, man. If y'all on here watching the show and this is what y'all about, listen, you're going to either change from listening to us and move in the direction we move in, or you're going to have to get from around us, family. And this is why we don't care. Like, we do this. We might not have the largest following or whatever, but we got people that's really solid. That's why I named my joint Solid African. You know what I'm saying? We don't need everybody, but we need a few solid Africans, you know, and we're going to galvanize that energy and make something happen, man. But that's what's on my heart right now, Keisha, man. I'm tired of preaching to the choir, yo.
That's what's up. And again, you know, we keep the phone number on the bottom scrolling. Y'all can always call in on the check-in and, you know, hit us up and let us know what's on your mind. As Brother Ashe said. Now, you know, like my brother said, being active is critical. Being amongst the people is critical because that's how you that's how you persuade people to be involved in something that is life-changing. That's what the UAM was. Active on many levels. Many levels. Social, political, and legal. Active. So, you know, if you live in the tri-state area and you have a gently worn coat that you can donate to somebody, Team Swap, along with Bailey's Cafe, are having a coat drive. Just pull up to 324 Malcolm X Boulevard between Bainbridge and Decatur.
Yeah.
November 6th, that's next Saturday, between 1 and 4. Real work, touching real people who need. In this time, people need. For real. So pull up. Drop off a coat or go, you know, if you want a shopping thing, there's plenty of coats you could buy for children, $20 and under. People need. We just did a story about a family of children who was suffering and nobody reached out. So again, you got a gently worn coat, you know, you get tired of old things in your closet, somebody else could use it. Don't bring it dirty now. Wash it before you bring it. You know, because we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. So pull up November 6th, next Saturday, between 1 and 4. We are accepting new and gently used coats for adults and children. That is men, women, and children. Help us make it happen. This is something that we do every year. Also, tomorrow, Brother Knowledge Born is celebrating his 2,500 episodes.
Wow.
2,500 episodes. So a lot of us in media, in real activism, doing real things, are going to be on his program tomorrow at 7 p.m. On YouTube. Excuse me. Pull up. Check us out. That's it. And I have to give much love and shout outs to the DJs. You know, Sister Keisha's of that partying world, for real. I'm talking about the own club owners and things of that nature. I'm not talking low level stuff here. You know, people, you know, the verses happened. I forgot to mention that last week. True story. Year before my mother transitioned, there was a live show at Club Sugar Hill. Shout out to Eddie and everybody there. But my mother, my Aunt Gwen and Aunt Cynthia, we treated them to a night at Sugar Hill to see a group called Blue Magic. There's a lot of olders in the building. You know exactly who that is. Blue Magic with, you know, Cuba Gooding Sr., member of that group. And at that time, Big Daddy Kane managed those groups. Blue Magic, Stylistics. He managed them. And so, front row seats, my mother gets to see them. And now it's about 3 o'clock in the morning. I got to get moms up out of here because, you know, I do my thing. I'm looking for her and Aunt Cynthia. They on the middle of the dance floor with Big Daddy Kane getting it in. So this is a true story, facts. You know, if Aunt Gwen was, I know Aunt Gwen is watching, but she'll tell you I'm telling the truth here. So, you know, be amongst the people for real. Be amongst the people for real. So again, shout out to the DJs who showed me much love on Twitch, because we also stream on Twitch as well. And as Brother Ashe said, you got to keep yourself as fit as you possibly can. Now, a lot of these DJs have dance parties where you can stream yourself live to them while they playing the music and get in. Last night, the goal was 10,000 steps. Shout out to DJ Vince. But, you know, to sweat and work out dancing for 4 hours, you can burn some calories for real. You're going to burn some calories for real. You have brothers on there who was in a roller skating. I mean, it was off the chain. So you might want to check it out. So I'm going to give you a little clip.
Choppy. You on mute, sis.
All right. Something must have happened here. But anyway, if you want to know about the DJs and the dance parties and who Sister Keisha get down with, shout out to DJ Sir Scratch, DJ Mad Marv, Vince, Q the mixologist, Nick the ATLian, Sister Karima, she be going in. But if you want to be a part of it, when these DJs go live, how you could be a part of the dance parties and get to know other people around the world. And, you know, as my brother Ashe just said, I get in where I fit in. We coming in for a party, but that information is flowing.
That's right.
See what I'm saying? Me and DJ Vince, shout out to him. We was going about, you know, the group confunction. You know, all of my olders in the building, y'all know who that is. Y'all remember the song Love Train?
Uh-huh.
And we were talking about the history of that song. So you get in where you fit in.
That's right.
Trust me, everything has to be a clandestine operation at this point in time. So that's what we do. So again, shout out to the DJs who show me so much love on Twitch. I appreciate y'all. And a lot of us go all the way back.
Yeah.
Now, I want to go into this story about Black Solidarity Day,
Ah.
which is always the Monday before Election Day.
Mm.
The purpose of this holiday, one, so that Black people can come together politically. I sure miss Ollie McLean right now. And the brother from Boys and Girls High School, I forgot the principal's name, it escapes me real quick. But they will hold these meetings every year. If Sister Veronica is on a check-in, she could definitely put that info for real. But she was there every year. But it's for Black people to come together and plan and strategize politically and to not spend any money. Boycott all businesses on Black Solidarity Day.
Uh-huh.
Now, this holiday was created in, I think, 1969 by the great Dr. Carlos Russell, who used to teach at Brooklyn College. And
Tell the people when it is, though.
hold on.
Election Day.
Right, we're going to get into that. Trust me.
Okay.
Now, when he started talking about this, he first approached some of your major known figures supposedly in the Black community. They were resistant at first, right? Now, over time, people became aware and understood the concept. Now, this brother from Panama, at least he was born in Panama, Dr. Carlos Russell, came up with this concept that this should be observed annually the day before Election Day. So that would be Monday coming. It's always the Monday before Election Day. I have never worked on Black Solidarity Day.
This Monday.
For the past, yeah, that's coming up. For the past 20-something years, I don't shop. I rarely answer my phone unless it's something being organized politically. Then I'm involved. And since my time with UAM and Sankofa Academy, I have not. Because since then, everybody else is playing too many goddamn games. And I'm not with the shenanigans. But I'll let Dr. Carlos cook. This was him at a meeting, I think a few months before he transitioned. He transitioned a couple of years ago. But I'm going to let you all see Dr. Cook give his perspective on what he thought this should be. He is the founder. I think you all can see that. Can you see that, brother?
Nah, I can't see it yet. Add it to the stream.
All right, hold on one second, family. Here we go. There we go. All right. Here we go. Now, let me see. Let's play this real quick and let him tell y'all.
As we suggested in Black Solidarity, not to go to work. Yeah. The buses wouldn't run, the trains wouldn't run, the telephones wouldn't run, the schools wouldn't work. Imagine, just think about it. It's hard to think about it. So I decided, hey, that may well be a good strategy because it's an economic strategy. The only thing that you can control is yourself and your pocketbook. Okay. So the point of it all is, can we do that? Now, we said that we would do it the day before election. Why election? On election day, this country projects itself as the citadel of democracy, of justice, where all of the beauty of what it's supposed to stand for is shown, demonstrated. Imagine then if we show by boycotting by the day before, we would then show the hypocrisy of America. That was the day. Now, when I said it to some people first, and let me say this, I never say it's Carlos. There were a number of young men and women that worked, that Philip White became Secretary of Education for New Jersey. The Reverend Eugene Callender was the vice chairperson. He was at that time the head of the Urban Coalition. Reggie Butts, Bobby Butts, Tyrone Woods, Jackie Woods, Megan McLaughlin. Can you imagine 11, 12 o'clock in the night and Shakur, Zaid Shakur, okay, all putting posters, Black Solidarity. Now this is going to make you think a little bit. I approached Minister Farrakhan, and Farrakhan said, no, if you want solidarity, you must join the Nation of Islam. I did not agree. Again, I told you you can disagree without being disagreeable. I did not disagree because Malcolm had taught us that we were not being oppressed because you were a Methodist or a Baptist or what have you. You were oppressed because you were black and you were an African. Well, I said earlier, things happened by accident. In 1967, I happened to be chair of the Black Caucus in Chicago when they were running Dr. King, attempted to run Dr. King and Dr. Spock for president and vice president of the country. I met a young man who turned out to be one of Mr. Farrakhan's right-hand people. When I spoke to him, he spoke to Farrakhan. And Farrakhan changed. And when Farrakhan changed his tune, much to my happiness, Black Solidarity Day took off. Because it was the nation of Israel that gave all of the necessary financial, material, manpower to make it happen. And you understand what I'm saying? I disagreed. He came around and he took it and went. And at the first Black Solidarity Day meeting that was held in at the Manhattan Center on 34th Street in New York City, there were about 15,000 black folks there. That's memory. If you doubt it, check the Amsterdam News and they'll show you pictures. Check and see Farrakhan speaking.
Wow.
Now, you know the history. You know what he went through to get it started. And he said the first Black Solidarity Day, over 15,000 people showed up at Manhattan Center. And when you see people, I remember Brother Mike Gray saying this, that when he would see the Black Panthers, just in their dress, in their garb, made him more proud and made him want to be involved. See, a lot of us sit behind these computer screens, as Brother Ashe said, having diarrhea of the fingertips. When people see you in action, they want to be a part of that. They want to be a part of that. You got to be outside. And so, as you know, the sister Aminetu says, I'll be honest, I've only heard of this day, but never knew what it meant. Thank y'all for the knowledge. That's what we have to do. Each one teach one. That's how we reach them.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people have heard of it, but don't know what it's about. To show your economic power, to show your wealth. Could you imagine from CFOs of Fortune 500 companies who are Black to housekeepers? Everybody take the day off and nobody shops.
Right.
None of these political pundits or their allies talk of this ever. Ever. Just go in the polls and vote. To our own detriment. You don't show no force nowhere. So that's why Black Solidarity Day was established. As he said when he first spoke to Farrakhan, He didn't want no parts of it, saying you got to be a part of the nation in order for me to do that. And he said, he remembered what Malcolm says. These people don't care about your religion. Keep your religion in the closet. But after a while, Farrakhan came around and it took off. We have so much divisiveness over personal ideologies that we can't move forward for the greater good. So I would employ all of you to begin to take off for Black Solidarity Day. If you can't do it this year, plan to do it next year. You get sick days, vacation days, personal days, whatever kind of day you got. Take off and don't shop. Simple. As Brother Ashe said, you ain't got to be violent nowhere. Now, I don't know if Dr. Cook knew this, and this is why it's important to study your local history. Back in the 1600s, we practiced this. If you tune in next week, Wednesday, November 3rd, I'm going to post a link when Brother Ray gives it to me. I'm going to be speaking at the Brooklyn History Club, William Mackey Jr. History Club. And I'm going to deal with the history of Black people, the first Black people of New York, 10 of them. And the things that they did, the things that they wanted to be done, these were some radical brothers and sisters. I'm telling you. Lower Manhattan today, there is a street called Freeman Alley. I'm going to deal with that history, what that means. So get ready for that next week so you can watch the Zoom wherever you are in the world. And I'm going to tie together why it is critical to learn the local history, because here in New York, people don't know about Dr. Carlos Russell and Black Solidarity Day. But they can tell me about the Kushite empires. You know, it's crazy to me, Brother Ashe. You know, they can run all of that to you, but don't know your local history and how significant it is. And because of our ignorance, other groups are doing what they must, using our history as a blueprint. I'm going to show that as well. Brother Ashe, your thoughts on that?
Man, that video was amazing. It was just super powerful, man. And like, just to hear the elder speak. He transitioned? Yeah.
I think a couple of years ago. I think so.
Just to hear the elder speak, man, it was just really a gift. You know, like, it just felt good just to hear him speak.
And I think Charles Barron's son recorded that, Kevin. I think Kevin recorded that, but go ahead.
Okay.
Didn't want to interrupt
you know,
you with
that video also took me back to a time of UAM. You know what I'm saying? It felt like where you could be in a small room with a powerhouse, with an elder that has decades upon decades of doing work and really has the interests of Black people in their heart. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that when, you know, they speaking, you feel like, wow, you ain't got to doubt, you know, if they trying to do this for clout or for YouTube or for likes. Nobody is even thinking of that. Because this is what Dr. Ashraf Kwesi calls bush knowledge. So when you coming into UAM or certain other movements that are actually solid, you feel like you in the bush. You feel like you had to leave the plantation just to even discuss this kind of stuff. Because it's real organizing. You know, that really was delightful, Sister Keisha, to hear that. And it just shows you the potential that we actually have. Now, he had Farrakhan on board. Now, what if, and I know this is a big what if, but what if we had some of these celebrities, Black celebrities nowadays that we have that say we got so many people that's about Black power now, right? Right? We got T.I.'s and Killer Mikes and David Banners, all these people, right? Even Jay-Z and Meek Mill's doing prison reform and all this stuff. What would happen if all of them at the same damn time, they ain't even got to do nothing. All they got to do, somebody create a goddamn post, a meme, and just let them share it on their Instagram or whatever, Facebook. Just let all of them all they got to do is hit the share button. A few of them goddamn celebrities hit the share button and say, this year, Black people, we celebrating Solidarity Day. We not shopping unless it's black businesses you buying from. We not spending no money. We not going to work. If Jay-Z, Kanye, Diddy, all these dudes that say they about stuff, shared that, we could change. All of the people that's following them would literally follow them and say, oh shoot, this the thing, this the new wave. Just like all the people that's not even into Afrocentricity or consciousness, whatever, started celebrating Juneteenth. You have everybody Black want to celebrate Juneteenth, right? They might not even know about Solidarity Day or the ancestors or any of this Black power stuff we talk about, but they celebrate Juneteenth. And that's Black history that comes from what we talk about, Black power, right? So it's not that far-fetched. Like, the power is in our hands. We really have the ability to really make something happen for ourselves, to change everything. You know what I'm saying? We have the power. It's the problem is we keep giving our power away and not utilizing our own power for our own benefit. We using the power that we have to benefit other people. But what Dr. Cook was saying right here is, look, overnight we can make a huge stride. Everything might not change because we still damaged. We still gonna have to learn to trust each other, work with each other, support each other, and all of that. But if we come on one accord and say that, all right, this is one thing that we moving forward with, the whole temperature of everybody's minds and their spirit would change, and people would start to trust and want to actually work and have faith in each other that this will actually work. You know, even better than faith, knowing that we can really get free. Because how many people sit here and they talk about this and that, and they talk about the utopia, Black power and all of this stuff. And how many people actually believe that? The stuff that they talk, the BS that they regurgitate from books, deep down in their heart, how many people really believe that stuff? Or how many people got doubt? How many times you saw somebody, like I said, once again, wide-eyed, bright-eyed, coming to the community, Black power, want to really make something happen, and they get discouraged by somebody else that come and say, oh, you can't do that? I called it back in the days. I said I was going to do like a presentation on this thing I used to call a Freddy Krueger effect. You have somebody, I remember how Freddy Krueger the only way he really get his power is by fear. He has to fear the other kids, make the other kids fear him. So once the kids in the school start spreading the message, oh, I had a nightmare, then more kids have nightmares, and now Freddy powerful, he could come in your dreams and kill you. That's exactly what be happening in real life. You got some people that's really warriors, that's really ready to do something, and then you have some people that's supposed to be elders, or whatever the case, maybe not elders, but just got these African names and they all conscious. And then they be shunning people because they don't got the same level of information, or because they just scared themselves to do some actual work instead of just reading books all the goddamn time. So they'll tell, oh, you can't do that. Oh, one of the good ones is, oh, that's not a tradition. Oh, that's not, that's not what we do. That's not how we do it. You got to do it this way, and you got to do it that way. The things that we've been doing for the past goddamn 20 years, 30 years, we can't do that in 2022. Some of them things, of course, we're going to keep the foundation and the values and the morals and principles, but the things that our elders before us have done, they got us to a point, but we have to do more than that. We got to do more than what they did to get us to a further point. Because we're not trying to get to where they got. We're trying to get past that, So we can't continue to sit here and keep repeating the same tactics that we know aren't fruitful. We got to literally be like, all right, we got to track our progress. And that's the problem. A lot of us don't even know how to track our progress when it comes to our personal things. A lot of us don't even pay our goddamn bills. They can't even track what time of the month you got to pay your goddamn bill. You know what I'm saying? So to track progress and set goals for yourself, That's a skill that not a lot of people have. So if you can't set goals and track your goals and your progress, or even develop the steps that it takes that's necessary to get and achieve your goal, you can't do that for yourself. How the hell you think you're going to do that for a whole race of people? Not even just a race, even on a smaller level, African Americans here. How the hell you think we're going to get free and we don't know how to plan, strategize, and all of that, and track? We need to write stuff down. You know what I'm saying? We used to have our meetings with the old organization we used to be with. Every meeting we had somebody that was writing it down. What was their title, Keisha? They had a title or no? I can't even remember the name. A recorder, maybe? We had a recorder for every goddamn meeting. We sat back. We said, this is what we talked about. This is what we're going to do. Next time when we come here, we're going to have this, and this done. And if we don't, this is the contingency plan. This is the person that's going to handle this so we could get this accomplished. A lot of us can't even do that for ourselves and our personal life and our financial life and all of these other elements of our life. So how we expect to do this and have these kind of skills when it comes to nation building? Because a lot of us, I don't even hear the word nation building anymore like we used to, Keisha. I used to hear at least let me hear the goddamn word. You know what I'm saying? We so far away from, we done got so lost from nation building. You know what I'm saying? Now it's just a personal thing. We trying to, get this, and we trying to get this material. We trying to get this. You know what I'm saying?
You know why, Ashe? Because with nation building comes responsibility. And a lot of people don't want to be responsible for their shenanigans. You know, even me, I had to get my coat pulled quite a few times.
Right.
You know, I had to get my coat pulled. Mm-hmm. Elders came to me and said, look, this is out of pocket, that's out of pocket, and you got to do this, that, and the third.
Right.
So I had to regroup, take that in, and progress. Mm-hmm. They were pleased with the progression. It is what it is. Yep. But I want to stay on Black Solidarity Day because, again, as he said, the elder said, to show your political prowess and for political planning, a lot of people stay away from politics, but politics guides everything that you do. Even when you take a dump in the bathroom, it's political. Because without no tissue, you're going to smell. Let's just be clear. Everything is politics. Everybody is organizing using our blueprint. Our blueprint. Now, I've heard a lot of people say, why talk about reparations? We're never getting this, that, and the third. Really? Remember those Latinos who were held at the border, separated from their children, and parents separated from children, and so on and so forth? Well, the Biden administration. Here we go. The Biden administration reportedly considering $450,000 payments to the families separated at the southern border. Here you got illegals, or so they call them. We're going to keep it contemporary so we understand what we're dealing with here. So they call them illegals. Getting reparations. No study like they tell black people. Like Sheila Jackson Lee, and they was telling, what's his name? Conyers back in 1984. We got to have a study about reparations. The government is broke. You hear a lot of white folks say, well, where this money going to come from? Nobody got that same smoke for these folks. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. Giving them $450,000. And let me tell you why. Says the U.S. Department of Justice, Homeland Security, and Health and Human Services are in talks to offer each person who had been separated $450,000, the journal reports. That is the Wall Street Journal, that is. Citing multiple sources close to the discussion. The offer comes to nearly $1 million per family, as most families who crossed the border, including one parent and one child, though the journal reports the official number could change. It is unclear how many people will be eligible for the settlement, but about 940 families have reportedly filed claims. The immigrant families were separated after crossing the border from Mexico to claim asylum in 2017 and 18 as part of the Trump administration zero tolerance policy. The American Civil Liberty Union, among others, have filed lawsuits against the government alleging that thousands of children and parents impacted by the policy may have mental health effects from prolonged trauma. This is our story. This is our story. Just like that. And guess what it is? Guess what the problem here is? Black people, you voted for it. If you don't understand politics and how it works, you will suffer from it. Kwame Ture always say that. Organize politically, or we will suffer for it, and we are. We are. The journal reports that lawyers representing families and the government are continuing to negotiate the settlement and aim to reach an agreement by the end of November. You got a goddamn study from 1984 on reparations. No damn study needed here. And black people, you voted for it. During Biden's first week in office, he vowed to reunite families that have been separated by the Trump administration's zero tolerance policy. Starting in 2017, the Trump administration tried to prosecute all immigrants who illegally crossed the border. They ain't had that kind of smoke for Haitians who were just here. Let me move on. Resulting in children who arrived with their parents being sent to shelters, and border facilities. Lawyers representing the children in lawsuits allege that the children were subject to malnutrition and provided little medical attention at these facilities. This is our story. I can't wait to get to the Brooklyn Mackey study group because I'm going to tie all of this together. All of this together. You keep voting blindly. You keep turning a blind eye to politics. I don't want to deal with that. Really? When you don't deal with it, somebody else will pick it up and take it and run with it. We keep suffering. Last night, was it last night or the night before? You had the New York City mayoral debate. Question was asked about crime in the city. Eric Adams gave his perspective and plan on how he would deal with crime in the city. Curtis Lewa gave his perspective on how he will deal with crime. Nobody talked about these goddamn Karens that's running amok out here. Nobody. Letitia James is about to run for governor of New York. What is her plan for African Americans? What is her plan for black people? I don't give a damn about no other group. People talk about a black-brown alliance. We're the brown people for black people getting reparations. Because Alexandria Cortez said it's a no-go. Where's the brown alliance for us? We got to stop putting on capes for every goddamn body. While our people and us suffer, because guess whose taxes is getting raised to pay for this? I'm tired of writing checks to the goddamn IRS for everybody else. You better understand politics and how it works. Make it a part of your daily lexicon. Because if you don't, we will continue to suffer. You got black children. I started out this program about the suffrage of black children. Black children who are kidnapped and trafficked every goddamn day. Where is the plan for that? Where's that crime bill, Mr. Adams? We better understand this, people. I'm telling you, what you don't get involved in, what you do not understand, other people will use to their advantage and win. Miami today, I used to party in Miami, the Versace mansion and all that. I was there. So I'm telling you, they control Miami. Show me a state, a city, a county where black people control every goddamn thing. Show me. I'll wait. And I'll be waiting for the rest of my damn life the way we going. We better understand this. Your thoughts, Brother Ashe, on this article on these folks getting $500,000 or $1 million. And again, where are black lawyers at? Where they at?
Yeah.
Brother Ashe, your perspective.
I mean, this is all a game. You know what I'm saying? It's all a game. You know? Tad likes to use a quote from an ancestor that goes, you know, black people, we don't start learning how to play the game until the game is over. That's when we learn the rules of the game. You know what I'm saying? But this is really a game, and all of these other people besides us, they know how to play the game. You know what I'm saying? They might have started late, but they starting to learn how to play the goddamn game. And black people, we still don't got a piece on the board. We still struggling to get the matter of fact, we still fighting over what piece we want. You know, in Monopoly, you put a Monopoly board out. Kids are supposed to be strategizing like, yeah, I'm gonna get this hotel. I'm gonna get this 5, 6 houses and put it on Park Place and all of that. We can't even start the goddamn game because we fighting over if we want the damn car or the thumbnail. That's what we doing in real life. You know what I'm saying? So when Keisha say we so divided by so many different things, religion, country, all of these other different things, we fighting over the goddamn piece, the piece to play the game. So, you know, this article shows the Latino people, it's not just them, the Asians been getting it. The Arab, oh my God. They got 2 corners. You might look on one corner and then turn your head, look on the next corner of the same block you want, and they might have 2 stores on the same block owned by the same people. So they know how to play the game. These acidics, oh yeah, you know they know how to play the goddamn game. They milking the goddamn game. They got 2, 3, 4 businesses and still got EBT cards. Still collecting welfare checks. So you know they know how to milk the game. They women or whatever you want to call them. they women. They play their position in a goddamn house with no job, watching them kids so they could get that EBT, and while their husband is out there with the businesses under his name. They don't mind doing that because it's a hustle to them. So they know how to play the goddamn game. The Irish, they know how to play the goddamn game. So much commit. The whole goddamn PDA is nothing but Irish people anyway. All of the police unions and all that started with. So they know how to play the goddamn game. But us, family, the problem is when we get a little piece in the game, we want to be in the same position and the same place as these devils instead of building our own goddamn Monopoly board. We want to start playing their game. Shout out to our brother Black Snow. Back in the day, a couple years ago, he created it was called Blackopoly. I don't know if he's still selling it. Y'all could Google it and see. But he created a black version of Monopoly, the actual board game where all of the street names was like Garvey Boulevard and Malcolm X Boulevard. All of that was on the Blackopoly game. But that's what we really need to be starting to do. Stop playing their game and start learning how to infiltrate their game and make it our game in real life. Because when we get a little piece of position of power, like we get our little politicians and, you know, even the mayor that's running for office right now in New York is black. You know what I'm saying? When we get in these positions, the first thing we do, didn't you just share a video, Keisha, with the mayor that's running right now, the black guy that's running for mayor said that once he get in, he gonna mandate vaccines for everybody.
The jab is still on the table.
Yep.
That's why he was summoned to the White House.
Yep.
As a contender. Because black people are so politically disjointed that because they see a black face, they're going to run to the polls and vote for this person. Now, I'm not trying to persuade you either or, but I do want you to have a clear understanding of what you're doing and what the outcome will be. Because Tish James getting Cuomo out of office to make it easier for her to slide in. But do people understand that she's been having several live Zoom meetings with Robert Abrams? And those of us who are politically astute in this state know who the hell Robert Abrams is and the crimes that bastard committed. What has she done for black people? What? That's the question. Because we want black first don't mean we want to rule nobody else. We want what's ours. As Sister Pat says, I have separation trauma from my ancestral homeland. Cut the damn check. That's what I'm talking about. Brother P said, don't have a plan for us. They don't have a plan for us until we become politically knowledgeable. We will continue to suffer. Our babies will catch more hell because of our ignorance. Facts. Pat said, where is Silver Dollar Trump at? I mean, Crump. Benjamin Crump, where he at? Oh, he just run after dead bodies that been shot by the police. Mm-hmm. Stop it. It's a payday for these people out here.
That's right.
But as before we close out, because Brother Ashe mentioned Juneteenth, there is a holiday called Pinkster. Now, this holiday came as a result of the Dutch and the first Africans to reach these shores. That would be in the state of New York, that would be New Jersey, that would be Connecticut and northern Pennsylvania. If you ask the average black person what the Pinkster holiday, they ain't even heard of Pinkster, first of all. So again, tune in next week, Wednesday, we're going to deal with all of that. Don't know what this holiday is. Don't know how it formulated. We started talking about Black Solidarity Day. Well, during the indentured servitude, blacks were held here by the Dutch. They took a week off. A week of working off, complete week. Made it ceremonial or what have you. There was festivals and different foods because they wanted to celebrate their ancestral home, their ancestral customs, not like what you see on the Labor Day parade, the Parkway. They, believe it or not, the first Black New Yorkers who arrived under Dutch rulership in the 1600s mainly came from two places, Angola and the Congo. So they practiced that holiday. But in practicing that holiday, they were planning to destroy their masters. There was rebellions going on all the time. When you hear, last week, I believe we were talking about hip hop, one of the components or elements of hip hop is breakdancing. In the 1600s, it was called breakboarding. You see how back in the 80s they would lay linoleum out on the ground and spin and whatever? In the 1600s, they would take a block of wood and dance on this block of wood. The term dance a jig comes out of the Pinkster holiday. While they were dancing, they danced for their freedom.
Wow.
They also danced to use it as a distraction while they were setting these farms on fire, in particular, Brooklyn. There were fires going up all over the place. Now, before we close out, I want you to watch this video, family, real quick, just to give you an introduction to what the Pinkster holiday is about. Check this out.
Church. It is actually when the Christ no longer, it was his last day on earth. He gifted the apostles the Holy Spirit. They pushed the windows open from the upper room and spoke to the people in Jerusalem beneath in languages that each heard in their own tongue. So it is really the official beginning of the Christian church. And it is celebrated all over the world. But here in New York, because the Dutch were the first settlers here, it is their language, it is their take that we step out into the celebration of Pinkster or of Pentecost, and that's why it's called Pinkster here. Over time, it takes on African traditions. It becomes a time of rest for the enslaved that they don't have any other time of year. So it is a very well-documented and very special time for history, finding, I always say, joy in the slave years, because it is the joy of survival. It's the joy of connection. It's the joy of culture that I'm hoping more people will embrace.
Well, for me, Pinkster is very significant because it is probably, well, it is definitely the oldest recurring celebration of African cultural heritage that that people publicly celebrated, that people publicly engaged in. I would say on the continental United States, or what we know today as the continental United States, and it's so very important because so much of the conversation about enslavement is about African people being taken, being stolen, being brought here. Their identities are being stripped from them. They're being assigned identities, names, and the underpinnings of culture and identity being disassembled. And here you have, for 200 years, you have people who are actually celebrating their heritage and their culture and their history, which predated that predated their enslavement. So where we talk about what was taken away and what was forgotten, here you have people who are actually engaging publicly and proudly and celebratorily, if that's a word, in their pre-enslavement heritage and culture. And I think it's very important that in the conversation about Africans in America and America in general, and the contributions that people of African descent have made, that we can talk about them actually celebrating their heritage and their history and their culture. I think it's very important.
At the Dykeman.
So again, family, in your time, just study about Pinkster. And again, like I said, next week I will be at Mackey's study group, and I will cover all of this in depth and in detail, and also talk about the first Black people to arrive here in New York in the 1600s. These 10 people, 12 people that I will discuss is recorded to live between 1783 and 1840. In fact, if you live in New York City, in particular Brooklyn, the Wyckoff Museum holds a Pinkster celebration every year. Some people don't even know this museum exists. I think it's on Ralph Avenue. Ralph and Clarendon Road, I think, is the museum. That's why it's important to know your local history. So again, we appreciate all of you all tuning into us every week. I'm going to let my brother Ashe give his final thoughts and comments, and we'll pick this back up again next week.
Yeah. Man, this is a great conversation. Listen, family, we're really going to start opening up the lines again. So prepare yourselves next week. Take notes. You know what I'm saying? If you have any comments that we comments on things that we're talking about, take a note. We'll bring you back in later so you could discuss your take on any of these articles or any information you want to share. You know, we definitely want to get back into and tap in with y'all and, you know, make sure that we are building together, you know, making sure that we know what's going on with y'all, how we can help support y'all. A lot of y'all are powerful out there. A lot of y'all are doing some amazing things as well that we need to know about. You know what I'm saying? So this is what the platform is really for. It's for us to be thorough and really build together. And, you know, it's not a lot of people like us that really are about that action, really are about tangible results. So if there's anything, Keisha, I mean, look how many people we done brought up on the show. You know, people done DM'd us, people we didn't even know necessarily, but they show their work. They have receipts. They show that they actually are active. We brought them on the platform. Let them present what they do. We brought so many businesses up here that we never heard of before. Let them share their business. Let them show what they do. Let them see how we can support. So we about that. So vice versa. Y'all let us know what y'all got going on. We'll definitely pull up if we can or support somehow, because we really just all about results and making stuff happen for real for our people, man. Nobody else is going to do it, family. It's just us. This is it right here. It's just us, family. So, you know, I don't know if some people waiting for this to get viral. I don't know what it is. And once it get viral, they going to jump on it and say it's safe. You know, some people be like, I'll wait. Not enough people doing it yet. And then once everybody start doing it, they jump on a bandwagon, right? Well, you want to be somebody like that, a bandwagon rider, riding on a bandwagon, or you want to be a leader and step with your left foot forward and make something happen and go down in history as a solid African, as somebody that kept it thorough, somebody that was really for our people. That's how you want to go down in history. You don't want to go down in history as no follower, family. So please, you know, make sure, like I said, we're going to bring y'all in next week. Please make sure y'all share this video. You know, anything that we could do, you know, we here for y'all, family. This is Thorough Black Talk, your brother Ashe SJ. Always remember, true courage is knowing how to suffer, and the battlefield is where you stand. Sister Keisha.
Again, family, we definitely appreciate you, as my brother Ashe SJ said. As you study, make sure that you become active in your study. Your study should be a blueprint for how you live your life. I don't care what that study is, even if you are of a religious person. You know, Nat Turner made his religion his blueprint for his action. I want to thank our brothers and sisters from around the world who view us every week. Some want to play back and hit us with messages, you know, thanking us for the work that we do. You know, it's not easy, but it's necessary. You know, what we know and what we feel we share with you all, and we want the same. So hopefully next week you all can call in and chop it up with us instead of giving your commentary in the chat. We have to, voice is vibration. When you speak, you wake up your ancestors. Your ancestors then speak to you. Sometimes when you speak, you ever get a chill down your back when you're having conversation? It's not because it's cold in the air. That's an ancestor who has tapped your spinal cord to speak to you, to worship you as you honor them. So again, we are pleased to have all of you with us next week. We want you to all to start calling in again. And tune in November 3rd. I will post the Zoom link for the study group. And I'm going to go into depth because now you have this narrative of we must separate ourselves. It's fine to have our cultural differences, and we all do. That's the brilliance of us as a people. I'm going to show also next week how Black people here in Haiti, in Jamaica, in Dominican Republic work together to destroy white supremacy back then in the 1600s. So try your best to learn about your local history. If there's a state or city that you reside in and you want to know more about it, shoot us a message and I'll try to get some information and research that. If you live in New York City, it's critical because New York City is the financial capital of the world. It didn't get that way by accident. We made it that way, literally off our backs, literally with our genius, literally with our know-how. So we love you all. We appreciate you all. All right, sis, Baltimore, definitely, because one of the things that the United African Movement often did was go to Baltimore yearly. Yearly, we went to Baltimore. So there is some history there that I would love to research. Again, I said now is the time, backpack time. I was telling my sisters earlier that I want to take a trip to Wyoming. And they, Wyoming? Why Wyoming? No Black people there. It's the #1 gun state in the Union. But what we don't know is that a Black woman was one of the first pioneers and settlers of Wyoming. If we don't know our history, other people will claim it and take it for themselves. So again, family, we love you. We appreciate y'all. We out of here. Good night.